Let me tell you the story I heard from a local state trooper about Joe Biden riding on the Air Force One Cooper. His days were numbered, nobody wanted him around, so he took his cash and went out like D.B. Cooper. Run, Joe, run into the Amazon. Take your wife and crackhead son. Maybe one day we find your fortune like F.J.B. Cooper. Join us in the hunt for truth and light. At the Benny Show, targets in sight. Run, Joe, run into the Amazon. Take your wife and crackhead son. Maybe one day we find your fortune like F.J.B. Cooper.
What's up, guys? It's Benny. You ever heard of the Irish goodbye? It means when you just leave the party, right? I'm married to an Irish girl. She loves the Irish goodbye. You just get up and walk out. Don't make a big show of anything. Don't belabor anything. Don't be dramatic. Just leave like you were never even there. Ladies and gentlemen, Joe Biden, who claims to be Irish, is doing the exact opposite of that. Joe Biden is having a very painful and excruciating goodbye, doing a bunch of degenerate and sad, decrepit things on his way out, with the lowest approval rating of virtually any president in history. Biden has the lowest approval rating of his term as he's about to exit office. Poll showing that 36% of Americans approve of how Joe Biden handled his term as president overall. On the issues, Joe Biden is in the 20s on things like immigration and the economy. Biden approval rating falls and plummets as he leaves office, matches lowest of his presidency. What a photo, too. The guy literally does look like a Madame Tussauds wax museum statue. And that's the kind of ratings he's getting as he does a farewell address to the country. Final verdict is in. Experts reveal what grade Joe Biden deserves for his last speech as president. So Joe Biden speaking of wax mummies, holy moly. Freaking makeup shotgun here for Joe Biden. Yes, okay. A hollowed out man, grade C+. Here's what the historians are saying. Biden warned us, grade A. Yeah, right. He sleepwalking out, grade F. And guess who else was there? Not sleepwalking, potentially tweaking, though, is Hunter Biden. Running through the White House to hide little baggies of Coke everywhere is definitely Hunter. And Jill Biden can't stop being super creepy with Doug Emhoff, who she kissed on the mouth on live TV as she holds his hand for some reason. We're always scared when we hear that Doug Emhoff has laid hands on a woman, but maybe this is a time that it was consensual. We'll see. Biden claims that social media platforms replacing fact checkers and community notes poses a threat to children.
I'm equally concerned about the potential rise of a tech industrial complex that could pose real dangers for our country as well. Americans are being buried under an avalanche of misinformation and disinformation, enabling the abuse of power. The free press is crumbling. Editors are disappearing. Social media is giving up on fact-checking. The truth is smothered by lies told for power and for profit. We must hold the social platforms accountable to protect our children, our families, and our very democracy.
Shut up! Shut up, you old jackwagon. Biden sits on pillow to boost himself during Oval Office address. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is something that we discovered first, that Joe Biden was sitting on a pillow that also had a box of tissues there in case he started weeping, coughing, or hacking. There's the pillow. Ladies and gentlemen, here's Hunter Biden as Joe Biden talks about the dangers of social media and lying. How many lies has Joe Biden told about Hunter Biden, all the way up to him pardoning his son for 11 years of all crimes he may have committed in an 11-year period? How much lying has Joe Biden told about Hunter? Oh, I was never in business with him. I didn't know what he was doing. Oh, I never got any money. Oh, he's the smartest guy I know. He was never in league with the Russians or the Chinese, the Ukrainians or Tajikistan or the Iranians and everyone. Oh, it's 51 Intel experts say that the Hunter Biden laptop was disinformation. Dude, look at this face. Absolute formaldehyde. This is actually what it looks like when they do open caskets for people. And they like paint them with makeup, right? And they're all waxy. Oh, it's so bad. Joe Biden gave us one final little chef's kiss here.
Address, President Eisenhower spoke of the dangers of the military-industrial complex. He warned us then about, and I quote, the potential for the disastrous rise of misplaced power, end of quote.
End of quote. Gave us one final end of quote there. He also blamed climate change for the wildfires. He said to Kamala that she is a historic vice president. I guess she's the first black female vice president to ever have to certify her own landslide election loss to Donald Trump. Just proving, ladies and gentlemen, that we were the first to spot this from this photo. There you go. I look forward to a president that doesn't have to sit on a pillow inside of the Oval Office. Ladies and gentlemen, Scott Jennings on CNN just gutting Joe Biden.
I think the way he's leaving office has been, frankly, pretty terrible. He's going to be remembered for a few things. But politically, it's mostly for when he was vice president, he and Obama sort of ushering in the Trump era initially. And then as he's leaving office as president, bringing back Trump and Trumpism stronger and more popular than ever. Today, Biden has like a 61% disapproval, and Trump is over a 50% approval and more popular, and his ideology is more popular than it's ever been. If everything you say is true, the Democrats should have had no trouble getting reelected in this election, yet they were.
It's an issue of a communications failure.
I know, and for Democrats, it's always been about communication and no introspection about the policies that led to him leaving office as one of the most unpopular presidents. When I watch this tonight, I remain astonished that he, his family, and other people around him thought he could ever run for another term. I mean, there's no way he could serve another 6 months, let alone another 4 years. The fact that they pursued that farce for as long as they did, to me, remains one of the most astonishing things about this term. So,
well done, Scott Jennings. Absolute bombshell. CNN, if you want to survive, maybe we'll have on more Republicans who actually say true things like what you just heard, or you can go the way of MSNBC and do this.
Taking a lot of time in this speech. They have spelled out the list of accomplishments in writing ahead of the speech. So maybe this speech is going to be for something else. Maybe this is going to be a warning. I did not expect it to be this stark. As you said, he said tonight there is an oligarchy taking shape in America. Dangerous concentration of power in the hands of a very few ultra-wealthy people, a tech industrial complex that poses real dangers. He talked about a tide of misinformation and disinformation enabling the abuse of power. Not just saying misinformation and disinformation are bad on their own, but why are they there? They are there to enable the abuse of power. He talked about the free press crumbling, which put a shiver down my spine.
She's about to cry.
And then talked about how truth is being sacrificed for lies for the purposes of power and profit. So this is important because he has essentially decided not to brag on the way out about what he did. He did a little of that, but really he's taken this last moment to say, here is what we've got right now, and this is why. This is not just dangerous because it doesn't sound American. It's dangerous because this is what they're doing to you with this oligarchy, with this concentration of power, and with what they're doing to the press and the truth.
Literally,
and that
on
is stark and sober and
way to
like I said, it
crying.
put a chill down my spine. I think he's
I put a chill down my spine. So chill down your spine because you have to come back to work. Rachel Maddow is now being dragged back to work, has to take a massive pay cut, and says if you want to keep your MSNBC job, as our ratings completely collapse into the center of the earth, then you're going to have to actually work, you lazy welfare slob. Maddow has predictably fawning reaction, verging on tears. It put a chill down my spine. It's great. Look at that. She's literally, she's legitimately, look at that. Look at the face. Look at these faces. I'll make this my wallpaper so that I don't ever touch my phone again. Look at that. What a grotesque, miserable lineup of wretches. It's definitely what they saw. It is definitely what the pilgrims saw at Salem. Dana White shared a GIF of an MSNBC repost of Maddow's rant that he found her reactions humorous days after he was tapped to join Meta's board. This is Dana White. Roasting. I'm here for it. Roasting. Look at these people. Oh, they thought they'd had power forever. They really did. They thought they'd have power forever. What exactly is this? You know, like, honestly, if this was somebody who was trying to tell my fortune, right, like a circus or something, I'd be like, yeah, okay, that's the phenotype. But this is apparently highly respected journalists. That's what they look like. Miss Cleo. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a funny time to be alive, and it's going to keep getting better. Everybody's saying that, of course, Joe Biden's speech was just the worst thing they've ever seen. It's not a Biden farewell. It's a good riddance. Worst 4 years in American history, and the mumbling is about to be over. Biden ended his presidency using rhetoric that would be right at home in a third world communist dictatorship. Maybe the worst farewell speech in history. Biden says, end of quote. Biden uses farewell address to call for more social media crackdowns. Farewell Biden. The danger that Joe Biden failed to warn us about in his speech was the power of government and its abuse. Abuse when government determines what can and cannot be written on social media. Abuse when government gives jobs and money to political friends instead of the most qualified. Abuse when political opponents are arrested and charged at the urging of the president. Abuse when laws are not enforced and the border left open for political reasons. Abuse when hundreds of billions of dollars in loans are forgiven for political gain, despite court rulings. And abuse when the president says others should pay taxes while pardoning his own son for failing to pay taxes in shady business dealings. Farewell to the most unprecedented abuse of government power and the core value of the Constitution. Ladies and gentlemen, what a complete and utter dumpster fire. And they're crying on MSNBC, and that makes us very, very happy, ladies and gentlemen. It should make you happy too. It's over. It's over. It's over. It's the opposite of Irish goodbye, but it's over. Good riddance. 4 days. It's your boy Benny. Like, share, and subscribe. See you.